Good morning, everybody. This is Jake from Jake Sports Takes. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna give you some sports news that I've been here reading and watching in the last couple days. I also got a new announcement of a new segment that I am planning on doing. It's still in the works, but uh, we're gonna do that, and we will let's get started. So my Houston Texans have been quite busy. Made a couple moves that kind of surprised me, but you know what? That's the NFL and free agency. The free agencies have been tagged. Brees Hall getting a franchise tag. Also, Daniel Jones getting a tag as well. Surprisingly, Trey Hendrickson and Kenneth Walker III not going to get a franchise tag. It seems like they're going to walk in free agency. Depends if they're going to start somewhere else or what's going to happen with them. So, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty interested. A couple days ago, the Texans traded 2 offensive linemen in a matter of about 12, a little less than 8 hours. Traded Titus Howard to the Cleveland Browns for a 5th-round pick. I mean, he was the most versatile offensive lineman of the bunch. I don't understand why they did it. I mean, I do, but I don't. They didn't get much out of him from him in return, but another mid-round pick. But you know what? The mid-round picks can help coming into building your future, whether it's wide receivers, running backs, even a backup quarterback. We've seen it before. And then later in the day, probably the bigger pickup of the day, Houston traded Juice Scruggs, an offensive lineman they drafted a couple of years ago out of Penn State. They traded him to Detroit for, I believe, a 4th and a 5th-round pick and running back David Montgomery. So there's no more Sonic and Knuckles in Detroit. Knuckles is coming to freaking Houston. Great. I like the pickup. I don't understand why they're trading offensive linemen when that's been their Achilles heel. But, hey, getting a running back, sounds like Mixon's going to be gone. So that was a good pickup. Yesterday, it was announced that Kyler Murray will be released by Arizona. Apparently, just too much. They're gonna be hitting a $36.8 million cap hit. That's a pretty big cap hit. This year, we'll see what happens. That should be interesting. Really, the free agency market free agency officially opens, I believe, March 11th, which is next week. So see what happens with that. Last night they had NBC did a throwback in the NBA. Did back the throwback night for the NBA on NBC. I thought it was pretty impressive. They went back to the old graphics, old announcers, all that. It was different, but I mean, they did a twist, a throwback to what they did when they announced it in the 90s and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Unfortunately, the game wasn't much worth watching because San Antonio just routed the Sixers last night. I mean, I would have liked it to be a little closer, but it was pretty cool to see. A little more throwback, but it was cool. They had Bob Costas, they had Doug Collins, and they call him the bizarre Mike Fratello, and Jim Gray doing the sideline reporting, and then they had Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, and I don't remember who the other one was they had in the NBA Showtime, is what they called the pregame show. So that was pretty impressive. They did a good job, Seems like NBC hits these throwbacks pretty well. I am very impressed. NBC's been doing good. Some of these stations don't know how to do throwbacks, and they just slap it together, and then it just doesn't work. And anyway, it was good. But so we've also got the World Baseball Classic is going to be getting going later this week. The U.S. is going to play their second tune-up game. I believe today against the Giants minor league system, which why they're even doing it against a team with a bunch of minor leaguers, shocking to me. But anyway, that's the way it goes. You got to tune up. You don't want to be rusty going in. You probably haven't been, picking up a bat since October or whenever. But, the World Baseball Classic getting going here. They're going to be playing Brazil, I believe March 6th is when their first game starts. Paul Skeens will be starting for the U.S. He pitched 3 innings with 1 hit and 1 run given up. Good start for them. They won 15-1 against the San Francisco Giants minor league team, but like I said, it's nothing. It's just a tune-up game. We will see what happens when they get into the games with the real countries who have the real Major League Baseball players when they go mano-a-mano. That should be interesting. I mean, if I remember right, I don't know how many. I think there's four regions. Top 2 in each region go advance, I believe. Now I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, and I'll look it up before I get started. With that. But I think the U.S. has a good shot. I mean, they got a tough group. They got Mexico. I think they got Mexico should be their only real competition. But we'll have to see. I got to look at what the brackets are and stuff like that. So, anyway, my big announcement. I'm going to be doing a brand new segment. Or, actually, it's a game show. It was a game show I watched when I was a kid. When I was a kid. About 10 years old on ESPN. It was called Stump the Schwab. It was hosted by the late Stuart Scott and Howie Schwab. Schwab was a researcher from the beginning of ESPN. Back in those days, he knew everything there was to know about sports. I know quite a bit, maybe not everything, but he had a sports trivia show that you could win money. You tried to stump him. If you did, you got money and stuff like that, and they continued to build that. Stuart Scott hosted that. And it was a great show. I've been watching some clips on YouTube to try to get some ideas. So, I'm going to call this one, instead of calling it Stump the Schwab, it's going to be called Stump the Snake. My nickname is Jake the Snake. So, I'm going to take some of this game show is going to be the same format, maybe just tweak, so I don't get busted for copyright infringement, but I don't think that ESPN even is going to know who's going to do it. So the first round, it's going to be called Leading Off. List of play. It's going to basically be list of players, coaches, like places, stuff like that. Basically a list of things in sports. I'm going to have 3 competitors to fight for the elimination rounds. So all 3 competitors and myself will list the name until it's completed. They have 10 seconds to answer. If a correct answer will earn you a point. If you run out, don't answer in 10 seconds, you repeat an answer or the answer is not up there, you will be out, but you're only out for that one question. Keeps going until all 3, once all three leading off lists are done. The person with the lowest score will be out and be eliminated. In the second round, there will be a couple different games on this date, which is what date did a major sporting event occur? 1 point for a correct answer. If incorrect, the opponent can steal. Name that stadium tune. Basically, what this is going to be, I'm going to give a 5-second loop of the tune, and the person's going to have to buzz in and where is it from? What stadium is it from? Arena, place, stuff like that. A correct answer is 1 point, and it, 10 seconds to answer, 1 point for a correct answer. Point may steal, but they must buzz in. Name that arena. What arena of a stadium is the town played in? And the name of the correct arena or stadium they played in they must buzz in. 1 point for a correct answer. If they don't get it right, the part of that right, they get subtracted a point for an incorrect answer. The winner is the competitor in all of those with the most points, and they may face me. And the final round, instead of being called the Schwab Showdown, it'll be called the Snake Pit. I want to change it up, make it a little bit more like me. The Snake Pit basically everybody will face me. You'll have the very similar, it's the exact same show, part to the show, but it just, it's going to be different. It's going to be called the Snake Pit. There will be four categories. The categories will have questions of 1, 2, and 3 points. The player and me will go back and forth picking questions. You get a point if you answer the question correctly. If it is your turn, you have one pass. Viably, both players have one pass, so viably you pass it back. I can pass it to me. I can viably pass it back to you, but you only get one pass. Gotta use it wisely. If you get it incorrect, you get a strike. 3 strikes, like baseball, you're all out. The opponent with the most points wins, or if you strike, or if that person strikes out. Now, as for prizes, that's gonna be hard to determine because I'm not exactly sure on yet. But I am gonna have a competition to see how many people can either stump me or get close to me. Tiebreakers, I'm gonna have to determine that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. There's still some slight tweaks I'm gonna have to figure out. But if anybody wants to get in on this, I'll tell you my link later in the day, or later at the end of this video, and we'll see what happens, and maybe we can get this set up. Right now, this is just kind of an idea. But I'm just trying to get some new stuff going for this. Because I think it was a fun game, and I remember going back to the 1990s and stuff, or the 2000s. Stuart Scott was a legend. He had great catchphrases. He made ESPN the worldwide leader, made it always worth watching. I mean, his catchphrases. If anything, I would watch a special they have it on Disney Plus. Booyah, the story, Stuart Scott, the legend of Stuart Scott. You have to watch that because it was great. It's a great documentary. You should totally watch it. But anyway, anybody has any questions, I want you guys to follow me. On Instagram at Duke Nats Texans Fan 11, at Jake's Sports Take on YouTube. I'm hoping everybody has a great day. Have a great week. I'm probably going to be posting later this week when I get some stuff. And remember, guys, I'm going to talk to Nate. It is March, so I'm going to talk to my buddy Nate and see if our shirts come. There will be 3 colors. Or 4 colors, I believe: red, white, blue, and a gray wash. If you guys want some, I'll post my shirts on my Instagram page and even on my YouTube page if you guys want some. Like I said, this is just in a preliminary thinking stage of how I'm going to do this, because I got to get guests. I got to get competitors. I got to figure out how I want to do prizes if somebody does end up stumping me. But we will see. And hopefully this gets off the ground a little bit so we can have a little bit of a free challenge. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Like I said, follow me at Duke Nats Texans Fan 11. Oh, and by the way, Duke is remaining at number 1. Forgot to add that. They a third straight 20-point plus win on Monday night. They've beaten Notre Dame. No surprise on that one. Virginia, I'm not surprised they beat them, but I'm surprised they beat them by 20. And then they beat North Carolina State. No real surprise on any one of the wins. The surprise was that NC State and Virginia got beaten by over 20. But that's the way it goes, you know. Duke's just the number 1 team. They have officially clinched the ACC regular season conference championship. So we will see how this goes come later this month. Anyway, follow me. Right now, the top 4 seeds are currently Duke at number 1 overall seed. Number 2 will be Arizona. Number 3 is Michigan, and number 4 is kind of wide open. Honestly, I don't know who the 4th number 1 seed right now is projected. Nebraska did get beat, so they may drop a little bit. I mean, we'll see who, there's still a little bit of time to go. Plus, there's the conference championships. We'll see. Anyway, once again, follow me at Duke Nats Texans Fan 11 and at Jake Sports Takes on YouTube. Everybody have a great day. And from one thing I learned from Stuart Scott, hugs and hand pounds, everybody. Hugs and hand pounds, everybody. And peace out, my nerds. Have a great day, guys.